All right, good morning. What a push yesterday from that Fed news, eh? Woo! Sheesh! Well, we tagged all-time highs like an hour ago, or 2 hours ago now. Did get a little bit of a pullback now from all-time high. Be interesting to see how we open up this morning. I will say that I really want to get long right here, right now, off of this pattern. This lining up nicely on 2 time frames for me. The quick move down, overall trend is big up. We have the inside after a spike down, big test below, close above, nice and green and high like that. The 1 minute chart now has 1 time straight up. First time we come back to the moving average, buy above being the first candle to make a new high. Should give extension, but man, it's happening 4 minutes before open, and I don't want to take it into the volatility, even though volatility might work in my favor, but it might not. So I'm not gonna do it, but I'm interested. I mean, it hasn't fired yet, but we'll see how it goes. It's lined up with both patterns looking very nicely, like exactly what I would look for, really. But 4 minutes now before open. If it was like 20 minutes before open, I would probably do it. But I just don't want to get caught in that opening whipsaw and it, you know, chop up the trade. So we're chilling. Although it didn't hold yet, which could be because of the open in a couple minutes. We'll see. There was lots of economic releases this morning. We had 3, I believe. We had building permits, which were slightly higher than expected. Jobless claims, which were slightly higher than expected, which is, I guess, a little bit bad. And the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index, which was lower than expected, actually about half of what they expected. Those are the 3 triple stars that I pay attention to. So we got mixed news, I guess. This trade actually did not fire. Which makes me, I'm not too sure if this was just quick volatility because they're approaching market open and maybe some positions are getting adjusted. But there should have been follow through like here somewhere if it was really bullish. But maybe people are timid too because of the time of day. But we did not get what was expected. So that could be just as good of a signal in the opposite direction, really. So just gotta be careful. We got 1 minute till open. I'm definitely watching this range on the hourly chart. We almost tagged the top of it right now on this dip. We did a nice one-time push inside extension. It's very common for the retracement to come back and check below that little inside flag, which now we have successfully done, and it could remain quite bullish. Moving average is catching up. We'll see. We will see. What's our gap looking like? We've got like a 17 point gap. Morning, man. How are you? Like something there. Let's see how this goes. What'd you think about that Fed news pump yesterday? Did you end up taking any positions in the afternoon? No worries. So we definitely did not react bullish like expected. So there's no trade trigger, no follow through. Kind of looks like we just want to extend lower again. I'm not too interested, I don't think, in getting long down here unless we get a new low, because this reaction should have caused some follow through sooner, and the fact that it didn't just leads me the other way. I'm gonna be patient. Oh, inside. I'm gonna go with double bottom so far. There's an extension. Okay. So hold the extension. Closed right at it. Only two ticks below the low so far. What's this playlist like? Oh, we did get a little pop there off that attempt to go lower. Failed breakout. Nice squeeze. That's first liquidity point. Ooh, it reacted from first liquidity point quickly. Jeez. Could still hold. It was a quick reaction though, jeepers. Not a horrible trade, really, if you were to have bought and above 1650. Hit a nice 2-to-1 first target. Would have had to take it quick though, or you would have got snapped. That was a quick reaction though of the retest to the top. Another extension lower. We have a good area of interest down here. It's right around the moving average on the hourly. It's also our close from yesterday, and like our gap fill and everything's there. Right on though. I mean, at least you got on the right side of it. That was a wild move, man. I'll be honest, I didn't even turn my chart back on in the afternoon. I completely got rid of it because I knew that watching the aggressive moving would tempt me into taking a trade. And I didn't want to take a trade and flub it when I know that I was telling myself that I shouldn't. So I actually closed it right down. Just let happen whatever was going to happen. But what a move. What a move. Ah, yes. The good old security updates. So we're down testing these tops. It kind of looks like we want to come down and fill the gap. Definitely a nice area of interest down there. If we caught a good mean reversion trade down there, would be good. Damn, 15 minutes, man, to get back up. She's rough to do those updates. A little bit of stall here, but it does kind of, I'm more interested below her. It does look like we want to push to this area of interest. Nothing really executable for me now. A little bit of an inside candle. Oh, the flag worked out. Going lower. Tagging the moving average on the gap fill chart. We are fairly stretched now. I'm gonna remove these lines. Oops, not this one. We're right into this area now. Spilled my coffee. Pretty steady push down. We're in our area of interest now. So with the right pattern, I'd be okay with taking a long. I like it. I like it. It's gonna close above. Take that right, move right back. Oh no! Get out of that. All right, we're in. Oh, right tested the bottom right away. Can we hold? Not the follow through that I wanted already. Need to get above 8. Need to get above 8. No, I'm gonna ditch this. Don't like how it reacted already. Would have wanted to see that stretch. I wanted to see it and go much quicker. Wanted to see it continue quickly. Kind of like that. But it needed to happen quicker. Or maybe I just wasn't patient enough. Probably gonna say I wasn't patient enough. This candle that retested the low right away, that was not what I would want to see off that potential reversal. I would have wanted to see this was kind of the test, and it to have squeezed the other way quickly. But that is exactly what we were looking for right there. Yeesh. Your boy flubbed the bag. Beautiful inside candle. Closed on its low after it did move up. We did have buy pressure, check below, and then close back up, engulfing that indecision candle. Gorgeous. Right off that area of interest too that we waited for. Yep. Yeah, generally for that situation, that type of reversal entry, because it's not like it's a W on a smaller time frame, you would want to see it like continue. And the fact that the second candle didn't actually go above to trigger and it checked the low gave me two things that I wouldn't normally want to see right away. So, and then it didn't actually break it in that indecision candle again. So it was kind of, I got a little timid. Technically, I didn't have any swing points to adjust risk to, but I made a quick decision. I'd already be out of this trade. This is all I would have been taking it for. I wouldn't have been taking it for a big reversal on the day. I was just taking it for a mean reversion snap right back to the moving average right there. Some sell pressure coming back in right at this underside, right at the moving average on the 24-hour chart. Makes sense. Try to keep going. Got a 1 tick extension so far. Oh, there we go. Couple ticks. That looks all right. Bullishness looks stronger currently. What a sender. Got our 2 legs now. The re-entry never even came back to test the tops, so extra bullish, really. That's a pretty big bearish candle. Now, I don't believe, just so that I am aware, there's no more economic releases that I need to be aware of. No, there's not. Okay. I can't flub that way. Are we gonna lose this 950 level? We did close already back below the tops, so doesn't look the greatest. Just kind of trying to hold a little bit to not lose that swing point, but that's a big bear candle. Engulf the two previous closes. There, we checked below. Tempted to hold here, couldn't. Now we're below the level. So this would be some trailed stops off these longs for sure. Or any late longs would have had their stop under this swing point. Sliding through them, we didn't absorb. Not yet anyway. Oh, it's trying. Are they gonna close it back up above that swing point? They did close it back above that swing point. Little liquidity check maybe? Nothing for me to do trade-wise here. Mm-hmm. Them closing it back up above that swing point. A little bit of a push. We got 3 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. How far are they going to push it? Well, it looks better than closing way down there, that's for sure. Still not so sure though. The one thing it does have going for this 2-leg pullback is that it didn't close below that swing, but I don't know. We had a lot of bearish pressure and it did resume right here. So, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's still there. Another new low. So potential reversal confirmed then as we broke the swing, retested, and then went lower. See if we end up getting a new low a day here off that. I want to say that we should get a new low a day off that confirmation. Test below, or at least a double bottom. I feel like they already tried to do a higher low and it failed, so let's see if we get a lower low. There's the double bottom. There we go. New low. Move our short line down. We're still in our area of interest. If we don't find bullish pressure relatively soon, then I would expect a test below the box. Because we didn't hold the top, and we're kind of checking the middle, which lined up with the moving average and stuff, and we have failed that as well now. We tried, continued to make a lower low and lower high. So the next location is the liquidity under it, like 95 zone. Yeah, underneath here. Getting close to it. And there it is, underneath that swing point right there. Achieved. So now we'll see if it reacts here at all, or if we just keep trucking. A little bit of an imbalance so far. Yep. Big candle though. So we're not gonna trade off this candle, but we're gonna use it as a very good amount of information. Do we close above half of the body? We did. All right. So we know that there's some buyers or profit takers at that location, which makes sense. It's a good area of interest. Now, for me to do business down here, there's a few things I would need to see, I guess. I need to see another test of the low with something to execute off of. Or if this is very imbalanced down here, buyers over sellers, we may see a quick move back up. If that was the case, then I would look to play the retest of the moving average for the second leg. So either we get a retest of the low with a nice pattern, or we're very bullish and we start a V. One of those two scenarios would be how I would want to play a long. I don't really want a long above this big engulf signal candle. The risk to reward is just not enough. It's like 5 points worth of risk, and I'm not even getting 1-to-1 to the moving average catch up. So. And no thank you. These are the ones that we want right there, you know? We actually had a 2-point risk off that, and on the first touch of the moving average, we got 6 points. It was a beautiful 3-to-1 on the first touch. I got too emotional. I did not systemize that trade. I was not a robot on that trade. Still finding a little bit of sells though right there. Not necessarily one-timing at all for us. There's no one-time trade to the downside. This candle here scratched that qualification. But maybe we get our second attempt down. Oh, all right. Definitely went a little bit further than I was looking for any kind of signal for a long, so we're mad chilling again. No low one opportunity, no two-legged pullback opportunity for trend continuation, no reversal opportunity yet for me. $47.0125. Oh yes, yep. For the next leg down, you mean? Yeah, that was a good short. Boom. Paid right away too. Those are the best trades. The best trades, man. They pay out right away. I've noticed it over and over and over. Like, if you get a good entry, that shit works for you almost instantly. Yeah, well, the one that just happened, yeah. And I mean, especially early morning like this, the trades that start to go in your favor pretty much right away really shows you that you did catch the imbalance point. Because there's a rush, a demand for whatever is happening. That core concept is why I hesitated. If I would have hesitated for 30 seconds longer, I would have been great. But because we were so early in the cycle, I wanted that reaction to happen on the next candle, and that was my thought process exactly. You know, it didn't go quick enough right away. It did close above. We did dip below, but we did close above. Try to go again. This may fail, but this could definitely hold a higher low on this retest. Oh, it closed pretty nasty. I was playing with some of my volume settings. Is the music too loud or anything like that? Or are the volumes okay? I'm just trying to take that move back. Buying that retest because this did close back up and it did fail to lose, kind of. Market would be looking to regain 47.0275 for a possible reversal opportunity. What's our daily candle look like? So far, it kind of looks like a shooting star almost. Depending on how today's session goes, it does not look that good currently. Okay, okay. Nice. All right. So it is currently good then. Yeah, if there's ever a time where my voice isn't loud enough, where the music's too loud or whatever, don't be afraid to speak up. I'm pretty new to controlling all this stuff, so sometimes I don't actually know. We're trying. The market is definitely trying to come up and break back above 70 for 702.75. That is an important level for us to get back above. Technically on the 5-minute chart, we are fairly extended away from our moving average. Not qualifying for a one-time trade. Some indecision here, but bulls are trying. Bulls are trying to re-break above the 275. Struggling a little bit, hesitating, I guess. Need to break above that swing. Good approach. Good liquid test. Close back above. Nice. There's our pop. Only one tick above so far, but we did get above. There we go. There we go. Oh, you're long 4,700. Hell yeah, there you go. Beauty, dude. It's a good spot. The market was telling us that we were pretty strong looking to get back above there. Good trade. Real good trade. Now, do we fail this breakout? Or do we actually hold above? If we can close above, that would be better. Didn't close above, but didn't close horribly bad either. Patience paid off, dude. Your patience paid off. Maybe it did fail to break out. Not looking the greatest there. Yeah, absolutely. No chasing. Yeah, there hasn't really been a nice setup for me again since the first one, so still just waiting. We are getting some bullish response from that low again. 5 minute coming back down, testing. Nice, went higher again. One tick so far. Okay. 5 minute chart's got a nice presentation to it. I don't need my purple line anymore. Retesting what we lost now. This was the kind of the first try, which we did get some pressure off it, but we did hold, and now we're higher, so I would expect now a move up trying to test the other side of the extreme. This was the low. This was the test. We were unsuccessful at pushing a low, so we push a high. As long as we don't get rejected at the first set of liquidity rate here, we should see a little bit more of a move up. Catch back up to our moving average, and then ultimately this underside, which I guess would line up pretty good. A little bit of sell pressure from the liquidity spot. No double top yet. It's equal highs. One tick above. Even though it did one tick, I don't know if I really want to be a seller. Five-minute chart just looks very bullish, and the 1 minute chart has tested a few key areas and not made lows off it. So I mean, to me, for now, the bulls are in control, and I do think that we're going to get what we talked about a few minutes ago, a test of these higher areas. Yeah, test of this underside and on the 5-minute chart, because we didn't fail anything from the low, and we didn't fail at the liquidity around the low. Probably going to get a moving average touch, and then ultimately potentially a specifically above these 1 minute levels would be the first area, like 1550. But then if we do get back up that high, 5-minute chart would presentate as a like nice V. So wouldn't even be looking to short at that point. Be looking more of like a hold of the moving average and break of the high. We have made it back to the moving average now. Something that I would possibly be interested in, or I absolutely would be interested in, if we find a little bit of resistance off this moving average and our 1 minute chart puts in a two-legged pullback, could be a decent long. We have a nice one-time push happening here on the 1 minute chart. Look at that V. Woo! Didn't quite poke into 50, above 15 yet. That's the first stop. I think that we'll get a little test above 15 and a quarter or 15, and then we might find a little bit of sell pressure. Maybe we'll spike right through and go straight up, but that would be the first. There here. This would be the first spot I would expect it. Oh, we spiked right through the liquidity. Nice. Very bullish. Very bullish. Are we going to give any kind of pullback, or are we going to go right straight above the 5-minute resistance swing high? A little bit of selling action. Be big in golf candle, but I mean the location makes sense, right? We're gonna have some selling pressure, some profit taking. See how far we reject. We had a very strong push straight up. If we can hesitate a little bit, not lose our moving average too much, hopefully we can regain that. Testing the double bottom to the tick so far. Oh, one sec. Partial drop off. Whoops. I will say that I am kind of not taking a trade here. This is technically a trade. This is one out of the 3 trades. This candle, this red candle right here, triggered the trade. I should be long from right there. But looking at that big bearish candle intimidated me. And I know that the prerequisites there. We're not too far stretched from the moving average. I even got a cheaper entry. But technically, the breakout over the first candle to make a high was right there. 1425 or 1450 entry. Stop out 2 ticks below the low. Totally, that entry would be for full extension up for a new high now. It's given me a lot of chances to get in too. But the move was, it happened so far, like on the 5-minute chart, I was like, well, maybe we get a little bit more of a pullback, but for that bullishness entry, like that type of entry, maybe I wouldn't want it to pull back. I don't know. I'm fighting myself in my head a lot. So I didn't take it. But technically, that would have been the stop it right there. That's 2 ticks. Now we have a 2-legged pullback. I feel a little bit safer off of that. That was the entry right there for the high 1. This candle is going to close below. Equal to. $13.25. We're going to close as kind of indecision candle. Okay. If we check below this indecision candle and then close above, we're long. Hasn't even been able to check below it yet. Still hasn't. Ooh, it closed in the same spot. 2 inside. All right. Still breakout mode. Check below first. There's the check below. We close bullish. Or does the breakout flag actually work to the downside? That looks great. That looks literally great if we can close up there. Gotta close up there though. We need to close above 11 and a quarter. It is not looking like it's going to. Nope. Okay. No trade. Really good stalking there. No trade. We actually pulled back underneath the moving average, which isn't the greatest. Remember how quick this came up? There was nothing there. If we actually fail to gain this high, we're gonna go back down and test this valley. That looks okay. I don't like that it did the 2-leg move though, and then teased the flag, and then the flag worked. It's not as clean now as it should have been, especially for that bullish move up. There should have been continuation through here. I'm okay with the high 1 not working, but then the high 1 not working followed by the high 2 not giving a true signal that's not good. Not good. We're getting a completely different information set up here. There was no follow through on that move. Yeah, I mean, the move up was quick. Didn't sustain. Maybe we hold somewhere here, but it got so far up there to the top that if it was going to go through, it should have held at a small pullback, small moving average test. You know, it should have kept going. The follow through was not as strong as it should have been, so I'm not disregarding that this swing holds and we push back down. Unless we, you know, do it pretty much right away here. But no trade setup now for me. The high 2 failed, which is just as strong of a signal the opposite direction as it is for taking it with trend. Very good information to be very careful with longs. I'm gonna go get my package off the steps. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, I was stalking that pullback very closely. And when the market doesn't set up the way that visually it should for what I'm looking for, especially when that high 2 fails. High 1 entry, second pullback, high 2 failed. it's just as good of a short, or the, well, whatever the opposite direction is. When that trend, when the high 2 low 2 trend with trend entry fails, it's a pretty strong signal in the opposite direction. In fact, I've been journaling it that way, trying to notice now some similarities, being that if I were to have taken a opposite position on my stop out, like if I were to take the reverse, so get stopped out of the high 2 and then flip the position on the breakout, how often would I be able to scalp out 2 points instantly on that stop out candle? Yeah. I like the short better than longs. Nice. Yep. First test to the moving average. Golf candle. Got a 1 tick poke bottom here. I don't know. I gotta sit on my hands. I'm slightly confuzzled, so. Comes the entry retest. No prerequisite for my one-time entry here. It is a pretty bullish reaction off a 1 tick poke. Could be a nice trap. Squeeze out longs, get people interested in longing, and then squeeze them out. Five-minute moving average is around 11 right now. Little range-ish here. Kind of failed to make a top, or failed to break the top. Kind of failing to break the low as well. We're a little stuck here. We're gonna regain 10 and 25. Ooh, triple top now. Definitely have some indecision through here. Price coiling. A little bit of a test above. Okay, that's our 5-minute moving average. Not a bad W bottom, really. We did get a 1 tick poke followed by a nice bullish candle. Did break through the top of the W now. But I'm still, I don't know. I just don't know. Hitting that downtrend line right now, trying to break out. Do we get the breakout? Oh, it's trying. Looks like the W bottom's trying to play out.
Search for dollars insert. It isn't coming back.
Oh, that's right. You were short. It's a good try though. I mean, I was on the same boat as you. I was leaning short. I just didn't have the prerequisite for a short entry. Other than if I were to have taken the stop out entry right here for the 2-point scalp. So we ended up doing 3 legs down. The 1 tick poke, held the W. Broke above the trend line now. Little micro downtrend. I guess we did find some stuff through here, but don't usually do it like that. It found support late for how much of a move that was. I would have expected it to be found sooner, personally. So I was really confused, or like, not so much confused, but more leaning short than long until this pattern developed, but wasn't super interested in taking that pattern either. So some indecision here. See if we can hold this moving average. I guess it kind of looks like a head and shoulders. I usually use those types of patterns. So the low of this shoulder and this shoulder are kind of lining up. Long. Oh, you long 13. Oh, you did get your two. You got your 2 points right away. Nice little scalp. Beauty. Very nice. Oof, an engulf candle off a potential double top. I don't know though. don't think that I want to play it to the short side though. I don't like to play like a lower high attempt now, even though my brain this whole time has been saying that the longs should have been more bullish than they were. You know, maybe that key piece of information will carry over, but I don't know. It could just hold. Like we're regained. Maybe we hold the moving average and keep going, and this is a short trap. It's not generally where I would want to deploy that, so I'm not going to trade it. It's getting pretty decent follow through, but still not going to trade it. Oh, there is still sellers up here. It makes sense though, I guess, right? Just like I said a second ago, these trades that should have set up through here for the long extension didn't, which told me that bears were strong up here. So I guess that makes sense. I would get a little bit of follow through, but 5 minute wise, basically we could be price coiling. If I would have seen something like that up here, I would have been in for sure. Not here. If this plays out, we get the move that just happened, which is still price coiling, or maybe it goes a little bit lower. Now, if it goes a little bit lower than 650, then I mean, I guess it would say it did fail to make a high, so we're making a lower low. But I don't generally look for that type of trade. I don't like higher lows and lower highs. I like it to do the extreme and then reverse. So no trade. Looks like price is just kind of coiling. We broke out of this trend line. We're retesting it now. Got a little bit of a pop. This is the retest of the entry. The deciding point. If this breaks the down, we're gonna go lower. If this holds the entry retest, probably go higher. The entry retest is what would allow me to remove risk on this pattern if I was playing it in a location I wanted to. That would then allow me to move my stop down to this new swing point. The entry retest is failing. Remove this downtrend line now. So for my reversal strategy, if I were to have taken this trade, we got our extension on this candle. So this is our trailed stop. We would have got pinged out right there. Whoop. Market is undecided here. Price still coiling. Equal lows, lower highs though. Ooh, another little liquid test. It's engulfing. Looks like we're gonna get a low. Certainly trying. Tight price action through here. There's a new low. So we have technically now done a two-legged pullback on the 5-minute, but we shouldn't have. It's not what I would wanted to see off of that. So that key piece of information still from this move, that the high 1 that was fully triggered failed, and then the high 2 that triggered also failed, led us to potentially still now accepting that maybe shorts were stronger. Selling was dominant. So it is a good piece of information, and it did play out. Now we are much lower now. Came right back into the top of this valley. It's expected. But I don't know if it'll hold there, right? The fact that we failed now to make a high, we couldn't hold bullishness and break through. Does not look like a head and shoulders anymore. This market could come all the way back down. It's difficult to take this pattern here, but I guess hindsight being what it is, having the understanding that the bullishness was not there when it should have been here, maybe could have given a stronger opinion for this part, but still not really how I ever have deployed it. So needed it to be higher. But in the context of what happened, it does make sense, I guess. There's no real reason to buy through here, so we didn't achieve anything. Market may go stagnant. Maybe we just go sideways for a little bit. Time is it's 12:03. Oh. Yeah, we're back down testing the lows. I mean, it makes sense, right? That's what we... As soon as this low 2 failed, that's what we said. We were like, well, we could see the low again now. It did a little bit of a debate first, but here we are. Quick move back down, just as quick as it was going up. Quicker than it was going up, which I guess is usually the common. Or the downside moves are often much quicker. It's a good picture day of what, you know, of what the V should not do, right? This V should have held like right here at maximum, and it didn't. And then this is the outcome. I'm gonna do that. Take a picture of a failing V. Ooh, you might be right. KC Fed Composite Index. Yeah, you could be right 100%. Yep. We are stretched. You could get your 2-point scalp up. A 1-tick poke. Because I mean, you only need it to go to like here. Definitely could happen like right now. You got a few things working for you. We are at liquidity underneath this swing point. We did get a 1-tick poke, but this move scares me. I'm fully anticipating a new low. Eventually. Mind you, you're a 2-point scalper though, so you definitely might get the 2-point scalp pretty in that move very easily. Move target might be mistake. Oh, did you? Oh, you were you longed the first candle. I see, I see. So it did hit your target, but you were looking for more of a snapback. I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Come on, pump it. They're not listed, man. I tried. It's a good learn opportunity. That reinforces why you have your target where it is, unless your plan says to move your target in that situation, right? That sucks that they're going to do that. Literally 93.25. It looks like it hit your -4 to the tick, man. I'm gonna remove my green line down here. It's not really serving any purpose now. Hesitating near this low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really not getting a lot of clean signals from me today. Only had the one. There's nothing through here. We kind of had a basic understanding of like the price direction ideally, but then, you know, my place of business, I would have been looking up here. Didn't really get what I wanted to see. This was a nice like reversal pattern, but not in the right spot. I would have wanted it higher, so I can't really say that that was an entry for me. And same thing with this reversal pattern down here. As much as nice as it is, the one tick poke followed by the full bullish close, at this point I was disregarding longs. I was like, it should have happened by now. The fact that it didn't it's wrong. Like, it's not visually normal. Which maybe I should have transferred that knowledge that I knew to allow myself to take that short up there. I'm not sure yet, but something worth journaling about for sure for the future. Comes our new low. Yep. Swing point to swing point, failure to gain, retest the low. Now we have tested below now, so market's achieved what it's trying to do. See what happens here. There was some bullishness through here. Quick move down. There was buys here earlier. We could find buys again. Push exhaustion, check below. Small indecision candle maybe. Checked above first. No entry there for me. We could be in a channel. Need to be careful of that. Let's see if the market breaks out of this channel. Very common to do a spike then channel. A nice parallel channel after the spike. If it breaks back up above that and we fail to actually hold and break down below this low after the retest, then we could see price move back up to test the underside here. First spot, I guess, is liquidity here, 47.01, right above this area. And if it doesn't fail there, then we're gonna go right back up and test this underside up here. See if it breaks out of this channel. What did we get? Like 2 ticks below the low? 50, yeah, we went 2 ticks. Trying to break out of the channel. Channel's not really respected at all. Just gonna remove it. So that's our first area of liquidity right here. We hold here, should get a move to here. If we fail here, expect a new low. We have a nice one-time push though, regaining this moving average. Let's see how this sets up. Shooting star from liquidity. It could be a banger of a trap entry right there for a new low. I'm not gonna lie, I want to FOMO short right now so bad. So bad. I had to take my hands off the mouse. It's not one of my 3 strategies, so, but visually, nice. I need to see 2 tests. But for this type of trade, often you don't get 2 tests if it's a true trap. No, we're getting our second test. No double top, no extension, not yet. Oh. Closed fairly high. I'd be underwater if I FOMO'd short. I would have got stopped out if I would have FOMO'd short. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't FOMO. A little bit of volatility there. 9 minutes from the close, London close. I don't know. This is technically a failed breakout to the downside with a big engulfing candle back up in. After a deep retrace, this could be the actual reversal point now. I don't, looking at it that way, we definitely have a failed breakout with a big engulf candle back up in. It didn't trigger the trap sell-off. We get a move back to 47.06, seems quite realistic. And then as long as we don't reject there and cause price consolidation, we should see a new high up here, which then ultimately would look like a massive W. It's kind of how I'm reading it. My 2 cents. Not really any action for me to take here. I don't have a low 1 or a high 1 opportunity. I don't have a 2-legged pullback to play. And there's not a clean reversal for me to play at an extreme point either. We were watching down here, but this is not signal candle for me set up, so no trade signal. Market's trying to hold this moving average and curl with it up. It is messy, yeah. I mean, if I were looking at this inverse, right, as tops instead of bottoms, Visually for me, it's easier that way. I don't know why. Does look like a failed breakout. Failed breakout. Massive engulf back up in. That's a pretty clear start of a reversal pattern, but we got our trigger over that. It's not like I can trade this off the 5-minute chart though. Stops like 10 points. I mean, you would ultimately be looking for a move all the way up to here to complete the W, but it's not ideal for me. We've had one push, two pushes. It's definitely trying to roll over here and fail. We just hit liquidity on the 1-minute chart, which makes sense for this 5-minute pullback. It's kind of like the perfect short trap, like get long here if it's going to trap shorts and this is actually going to reverse. It's like the perfect spot. Did react like you'd want to. If I would have longed there, if I had a strategy to long that, I would not let it come back against me. I'd be break even now. Could be short trap. $12.26. We've had pretty good read on the market today though. Feels good. Good more or less understanding of some price movement. There was a few situations where I really had to fight the urge to FOMO, like really hard. Really, as far as presentation wise, as well as context lining up, the only real setup that we had was here. And for journaling's sake, this is not how I would currently do it, but I'm adapting more and more to the understanding that when the high 1 and 2 fail, when it really looks beautiful, like when the presentation is really, really nice and it fails to actually follow through at all, it's such a strong opposite signal that maybe in the future this will be a good opportunity, because we should have had a short, theory going at that point, and that is now a nice reason to get short. But not currently a trade signal, but good for the journal. I used to trade like this. I would, like back in like last winter, I would have had a resting long here and caught that liquidity dip, and now I would have a stop move to break even, because if it came back all the way back down there, the presentation's not what we were looking for and the trap is not confirmed. Ideally, we do not want this to come back below this swing point. We want it to hold and squeeze the opposite direction. But I don't trade like that anymore. Too many knife catches. Too much, like, it ended up leading to me. I will say that I don't know that I had as much of an understanding of the market movement last year. So like I would like try to be catching liquidity all over the place. I'd be like finding the perfect stop out areas for what was happening, and I'd just be putting orders in where I know people's stop outs are, or would be placing off the price action, right? Like that was the perfect stop out area based off this long price action that we had. And if this 5-minute chart is going to play out to the long side, it'll probably test that area. So I would just have something resting there. But too many times I would have an order resting there and it would just like not react at all and just dump through me. The times it worked nice, but not enough knowledge and stuff to be trading that style at that point in time. Or still, probably. I did check my fire though. There's nothing for me to do here right now. Price is very, very stagnant. I will be right back. All right, sorry about that. It's cold up in here. Oh, this is nasty looking. Trap did not follow through. Greasy. Some nasty indecision through here. Nice. Looking for that, scalping that test of the low. Ooh, it filled you to the tick too. Nice. You've been busy today, man. You've been active today. It's all right. Good trading though. Got lots of some scalp wins. You got some losers. You got some winners. Just good trading. Nothing wrong with that. It's been a little slow for me today. But that's all right. We'll have more signals a different day. I was able to keep my head in the right place for most of the session, so that was good. Just kept talking, trying to keep reminding myself of what's happening and what I should be looking for. My one flub of the day was my morning play for sure. that was a great area of interest, a great pattern, and I just was a little bit too impatient. That's really all it was. Not really anything else to say. I managed it too emotionally. Systematically, the trade should not have been exited, so that was an error on my behalf. And I would have gotten the exit 1 minute after I closed the trade. Right there, right at the moving average touch. And the greedy option is to hold for 2 legs and then sell at the first sign of weakness, which I would not have done here. I would have exited the trade at the moving average on the first touch. So that was a bit of an error, but that's okay. Good reminder on why I have the systematic approach. My discipline towards a systematic approach is still very much beginner level, and like I'm slowly seeing the strength of it over the last couple days, and just gotta keep grinding. But then after that, there was nothing through here. There was no one-time entry. We didn't get any reversal signals through here. We didn't get a 2-legged pullback signal. Nothing. After we regained this, we fully anticipated the move back up to the high. We got the V. Now this was an opportunity here. Again, systematically, it did trigger a trade. We had a nice one-time move, and it was against the trend, and it was creating the V. And then we had the first candle to make a high, which would have triggered it in right there on that red candle before it went red, right at 1450. Would have triggered long. The reason I didn't do it was visually because I was going against a massive 2-bar reversal engulf candle. So in my head, I would have rather see that like smaller, not so strong like that. So I was more interested in a 2-legged pullback to the moving average, kind of anticipating that the first attempt to go would find sellers within the same area of that candle, and we'd get a little bit more of a move down. So presentation wise, it didn't give me exactly what I would visually want to see, which is why I didn't pull a trigger. So I'm glad that that's how I managed it. But the 2-legged pullback was really where I really wanted to get long, which should have been right here. And it had the nice follow through. It had 2 inside candles, so it was really looking juicy. And then ideally what I would have seen is that test the low and then close back up and above. And that would have been my long trigger right there, looking for full extension above 47.18. However, it did not. It actually held the flag. This is, pull, small flag, and we did break down. So when that happened right there, that was basically my signal, and my brain said straight up, should not be looking for longs anymore. Like I have it written down at the bottom of the 2-legged pullback strategy that if the 2-legged pullback fails after it triggers, that is not a good sign, and you should be actually considering looking for the opposite trade signal, because this trend is not as strong as you think it is. And then that was presented here. We had a little W reversal here, which popped us back up. At the time, that's what we were presented with. So I was really on the fence. You know, it did go lower than I was anticipating, and it did show that my system was incorrect. So I should have been looking for the opposite trade, but I really couldn't convince myself to, because I knew that if that lined up, it would have lined up with a lower high. So I still struggle with that. The lower highs not being equal to or a test above and then rejection. Same thing with the lows. Like it's very, very difficult for me. So I didn't pull the trigger here. Mind you, it's perfect price action. We got a perfect double top with a full engulf candle, short underneath, looking for a full extension. Sure. But it's good for journaling, not technically an actual pull the trigger trade signal yet. Maybe come in the future, and the other thing I want to mention too is that the two-legged pullback stop out, which was right here after it triggered above this candle right there. If it fails, I'm going to, like, I've been keeping track of, if it fails, if I were to immediately reverse the position, could I scalp 2 points off the stop out slide? And in this case, yet again, the answer was yes, in the actual same candle that triggered the entry and the stop out. And then that should transfer my brain into thinking about the opposite position. So it was actually a really good journal and like education day. It was really good for that. And then after that, we never really got any clear signals that I really wanted. In fact, I was looking through here as this being a possible trap, and the market showed me I was wrong. Tested the low, and now we're like accumulating at the low. We have a double bottom and we're pushing back up. Really not. This is another instance, right? That sure, this is a W pattern near the lows, but if this market plays out off of that W bottom, this pattern will be a higher low, which same concept as up here. I struggle with. I don't know why, but visually, I never trust them. I'm always waiting for the market to hit the maximum pain and then do something. And usually in these higher low situations, maximum pain hasn't been hit. People's stops through all this could still be under this swing, and it was never touched before the market actually reversed. So it's difficult for me that way. But yeah, good day. That'll be my cutoff. Both your losers were because you changed your target. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So good reminder for you too, right? Your system you have designed the way that it is for a reason, and good reminder of why you do it that way. Well, that's going to be my cutoff for the day. Really, I am really happy that I prevented myself from FOMOing a few trades, because there was some situations. I don't really remember where they were. There was one I wanted to FOMO short. Where was it? I fought the urge so hard. Right here. Right here. I almost did. Like, I wanted to so bad, because in my mind I was like thinking that it was checking the top of the channel and we were still going to go lower. It's not a true trade setup. It's not 1, 2, or 3. So I didn't do it, which did save me a stop out. But would I be the same happy if it would have worked? And I should still accept that, because the goal is to not FOMO, not if the result was good or bad. So yeah, good day. Oh, we're getting another swing at the low here right now. New low. There's the new low. That's why I struggle with those right there, because I just anticipate this to happen. I always anticipate maximum pain before an event. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the market closes today. Had some clean price action followed by some kind of confusing price action that I didn't anticipate. Once the move started to happen, we kind of were on the right like theory, but we'll be back at her again, same time tomorrow morning. Hope you have a good rest of your day, man. Good trading today. Hopefully tomorrow the market gives me a couple more setups. That is we had some bullishness through here. We got a nice bullish response now off that failed breakout. Might be finally trying to reverse. Be interesting to see. All right, I'm out of here. Take care, man. See you in the AM.